as you can see, today's topic is psychology and neuroscience within the Bible. I've chosen like a more broad topic and I've done it into sections. And it's all like lessons that we have learned before, and then this is just some like psychology behind it. Can you guys see? Okay, cool. So just a starter question. Do you guys think that science and religion can coexist? Like, can they go hand in hand? Yes? Yes?
Yeah, they coexist, but I think religion is not religion. God is often science. But they can coexist.
Yeah. So yeah, the short answer is yes. I think because of theories like the Big Bang or evolution, we think it's impossible because they don't really match up. But there are some links, and we're going to explore some of those today. I'm sorry, I'm going to speak in English today because that's easier for me, but I put Nepali classes as well. So the first topic is your social circle, and this means the people around you, like most importantly your friends, because most of the time you pick and choose who your friends are. Here we have Proverbs 13:20, and here I've just kind of annotated it, if there's anything you understand. It says, walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. So in other words, my understanding of this verse was that we should surround ourselves with people who we want to be like, because naturally as you are around those kind of people, you become like those kind of people. And if you are friends with fools, then there's a risk of you becoming like them as well. And the psychology behind this. So behavioral psychology is observing behavior, and social psychology is like scientifically measuring the behavior. And both of them are the idea that we learn behavior, so our actions, what we say, like these all come from things that we observe in our environment. So this is most prevalent in children. Like, you know, if a children sees you doing something, they also do something. But like as teenagers and adults, we also do this unconsciously. There it says mediational processes, and this is what our brain goes through every time we see an action. So if I was to like do a handstand right here, you guys, in order for you to recreate that, you would have to pay attention and see me do it. And then you'd have to remember me doing it. Reproduction is your ability to do a handstand, and then motivation is, are you likely to repeat it like you want to. And so this kind of shows us how when we see behavior from other people, we will also try to recreate that. And the reason for this is because we as humans, we're social species. We desire to be liked. Like, we want people to think that we're cool or that we are nice and they want to be around us. And naturally, we avoid embarrassment. We don't want, like you know how it feels to be embarrassed, and it's not very nice. So we try to avoid that by acting in ways that the people around us do. And the last point it says, we unconsciously change our opinions maybe, or our beliefs, our behaviours to be accepted. And this links back to this in walking with the wise, because if we are, like for me, I'm around my friends for about 6 hours a day at school. In those 6 hours, we, through these, we become them. So what I'm trying to say is that it's important that you are choosing to hang out with people who are gonna better you, who are gonna, motivate you, like, or motivate each other. Like, you need to choose people who have the ability to make you a better person, because ultimately that's what we want. Like, we don't want friends who make us feel bad or make us do bad things. Like, that's not very good. So yeah, this is social circle and social psychology. The next point is about forgiveness. I think we all are constantly reminded about the importance of forgiveness. And here is Ephesians 4:32. It says, "Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other just as Christ God forgave you." And this is saying that we are commanded, like, it's not really an option. Like, this is repeated many times in the Bible. This is just one that I pulled out. And it's saying that we should treat people how we want to be treated. We should love our neighbors as we love ourselves. And when it says to one another, it doesn't mean just to the friends or the people you like. It means to everyone, like, no matter if they've hurt you or not. And I think the most important part is to forgive as Christ God forgave you. There's many examples in the Bible of people that Jesus forgave. He even sat with sinners, he helped them. And so I think what I'm trying to say is it's important for us to forgive, right? And then there's also some psychological meaning behind this too. So in psychology, forgiveness is a mental and emotional process. It's a conscious decision to let go and be content regardless of any pain that someone has caused you. So, for example, when someone wrongs you, this increases stress hormones like cortisol, and it raises your heart rate and blood pressure too, which in the long term is not good for you. But actually, I'm supposed to do something with it. Can I get a volunteer? It's just like a simple task.
Your example.
Okay. Yes, so if you can sit down, but I just want you to hold it out in front of you, like this, and just stay like that for a bit, okay? And I'm gonna continue. So, forgiveness is needed in order for us to grow. It can better our emotional regulation, to prevent outbursts of anger, and to be more patient. That doesn't say patient. But in the Bible it tells us to not act out on our anger and to be patient and forgiving to people around us. So this is kind of just reminding us that we should be forgiving. I think when you're in the moment and when you're hurt, you tend to kind of justify your actions. Like, I don't want to forgive this person, like, they wronged me, they did this to me. But there's actually many important processes as to, like, thought processes to why it's important to forgive. And the reason I've asked him to hold the book, how are you feeling? Is it, like, getting heavy? Are your arms starting to hurt? Okay, you can hold it for longer then. Okay, just keep holding it. So yeah, this is forgiveness. This is forgiveness. Whenever it hurts, just let me know, and then I'll explain why I asked you to do that. So in terms of forgiveness, it's obviously good to forgive people because that we've been instructed to, and it's not nice to keep holding grudges against people. But psychologically, there are also effects that harm you and can harm other people too. So, yeah. Point 3 is renewal. This is Romans 12, verse 2. It says, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, His good, pleasing, and perfect will." And there's just some annotations there that you can read. Oh, I didn't finish, but by His good, pleasing, and perfect will, it means that His plan for you is so much better than anything else that we can ever think of, so it's important to follow. Is the book getting heavy now? You need another book.
Quite heavy.
Use the brown one.
Brown one, yeah.
Read the brown one.
Yeah, it's funny. तिमी त्यस्तो गर्नु अलिक स्ट्रेच गर्नु
Or do like a wall sit.
No.
Is this true? He runs every 1 hour every day.
1 hour.
Okay. So moving on to what psychology says, that neuroplasticity is basically in our brains, it's sectioned off, and each part has a different function. And within the brain, you have neurons. So if you think like this wire, in order for like memories or information to be passed through your brain, you have something called neurons. And neuroplasticity is how the brain organizes or creates new neural connections in response to learning and injury. As youth, this is like our prime time, and also when we're younger as well. As you get older, it's harder for you to make these neural connections due to synaptic pruning. And so sorry, is it getting heavy now?
Yeah, it's very heavy.
Okay, you can put it down now, and I'll explain that after. I didn't say that. So if there is like a skill or a habit, if you want to start reading the Bible more, if you want to start playing sport or an instrument like this, through repetition, that is how your brain learns. Like, it's not about talent does come into play, but overall repetition is the main way that we learn, and it's important to be consistent. And then the point over there says that negative self-talk is a prime example of how neuroplasticity comes into play. If you were to keep repeating, "I'm not good enough, I can't do this," if you keep repeating that over and over again, you are strengthening that neural pathway. And so, over time, your brain doesn't know what's real and what's not. Like, it can't distinguish between the two. So if you were to keep saying that, your brain would start believing it, and